Hey y'all, what's up and welcome back to It's the Bree Show. And in today's video, I have a special guest.
OPZ, man. Y'all know who it is. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all ain't seen me in a minute. But I'm here, man. Let's get it. Sag season. I'm getting squared up, you know. But we here. Let's get it.
And it's in your
It's in my sixth slash fifth house. So more so my sixth, but it's kind of like leaving my fifth type shit.
So for Cancer ascendants, and what's that one? And Gemini ascendants, okay, that would be pretty it would be pretty significant, for you guys. Well, as far as like, this conversation, y'all could probably relate the most. Cancer, Gemini ascendants, and Virgo ascendants similar to me. And Libra ascendants, because I kind of have a Libra synastry too. Anyway, so in this video, which y'all will obviously be obvious by the title, it will be about, just pretty much our thoughts and our perspective on this Sagittarius season coming up. Technically already here, but still, we at the end of Scorpio, as well as the new moon in Sagittarius coming up. And as y'all know or may not know, there's a lot of Sagittarius energy going on, in the sky right now. I think it's it just got into Sag, the sun, then Mercury, Venus, and then it's the moon, the new moon.
I was about to say, ain't the moon about to go in Sag?
Yeah. It's still in Scorpio, but the moon, it's about to be in Sagittarius for the new moon. So, goddamn. Hella fire.
Special shout out to our Sag Scorpio cusp ascendant partner, Samaj J,
Oh, yeah.
for the flying in power.
Y'all already know. Y'all go get y'all hats.
That thing fire. We'll link his shit down in the description. So
yeah,
I'm
sorry,
check
I
him
almost
out.
forgot. I forgot he was a Sag ascendant. But yeah, shout out to him. He was also on my interview I did a few months back.
Yep.
The second one. So if y'all want to go and check that out, if y'all haven't checked that out yet, yeah, I guess I might put the link in the bio too for that. But anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and get it started, okay? So, you got anything?
You want me to go ahead?
Okay, well, I guess since it's my turn. Well, I guess I'll just start off by saying, like, certain things I pretty much, like, learned, from Scorpio season. Now, like, some of y'all may have seen my fuck a hater video I did at the beginning of Scorpio season. Some people probably thought, especially me being a Cancer, like, oh my God, she's in her feelings. Oh my God, what happened? Who did something to her? Nobody did shit to me, but it was more so like, yes, it was something that certain things I've just went through, throughout my life that I was kind of picking up on at that time. But also too, as far as like what I was kind of picking up on from like as far as from the collective. Hey Boots, okay, he gonna make his way. All right, y'all seen a couple of my other videos. But yeah, like as far as what I was picking up from the collective, okay. So, I pretty much said that pretty much to trust your intuition, trust your gut, trust what it is that you feel that you may not always see, especially when something doesn't really like feel right, or dealing with other people, like if something don't feel right about that person, you know, despite they smiling in your face, or, you know, whatever the case may be. Whether it's someone you know or whether it's a stranger. And we have seen with certain events that took place, Scorpio season, you know, how being around the wrong people, you know, are just not listening to your intuition, how that can affect you, you know. And Scorpio, I mean, to the extreme, it can literally be death, physical death, you know. You know what I'm saying? That's why I could go on and on, but you know, that's why I like a lot of Scorpios are people with heavy Scorpio energy. You know, they really they can really just get that, you know, that are just really have that understanding, or either they're gonna go through events and shit in their life if they didn't learn yet, you know, where they gonna have to like literally buffer in death, you know, like they gotta understand you know, just what it means to ultimately transform and put death to things. And you know, going back to what I was saying, like, even when it comes to stuff like that, you know, listening to your intuition and things like that, when it comes to other people or certain circumstances, in my opinion, I feel like, especially with Scorpio energy, if you pick up like if you have a bad vibe from someone, or if your intuition is telling you like, oh, don't go there or don't do that or whatever the case may be, I do feel like that kind of correlates to the whole death thing in a sense, because it's like every time you don't trust your gut, or every time you go against yourself and you go against to what like your soul is trying to tell you, you know, I feel like that's what leads to like catastrophic situations, you know, or that's what leads to the like ego deaths and shit like that, ego trips. And like I said, especially dealing with Scorpio, it can be physical depending on the extreme of the situation, physical death. But it could also be more so like a mental death, emotional death, spiritual death, you know, that we may go through. I feel like, you know, every time we not only don't listen to our intuition, but every time we do, you know, like, it's always something deeper that you're gonna learn, you know, or see beyond the surface that maybe you know, you were ignoring at first, or maybe you just weren't aware of, or maybe you felt and you sensed Scorpio, but you didn't see it. But you know, it's, yeah, okay, I'm just rambling, but yeah, so I just wanted to start that off by saying that I kind of peeped that and picked up on that and learned that Scorpio season.
It's good though. Yeah, sad season. It's time for rebirth, shit. You know.
Y'all already know. Because death, I mean, ultimately death is not the end, what they call it, the be all, end be all, whatever, be all, end, whatever.
You going somewhere else.
Yeah. You going somewhere else. Like the Pisces moon tell it.
I was gonna say some whole other shit, but I'm not.
What?
I don't want to get.
It's Sag 5th house. Let it out.
You know, a lot of people be spooked about. You know, when you start talking about death and shit, a lot of people start getting scared. You know, it's kind of a touchy subject for a lot of people, but
it get real spooky.
Me personally, like, I witnessed death like real early. Like, I lost one of my parents real early when I was 13. So that kind of just made me look at life like, why? Like, why? You know, it just made me like question everything, like even death. Like, why do certain, you feel me? Like, why do certain people have to leave us? Like, why do we have to die? And eventually I just came up, you know, with the the conclusion that shit, we all gonna die. It's a part of life, you know. But what?
That's something that a lot of Western religions don't really teach. As far as pertaining to death. And I feel like that's why, not I feel like, but I know that's why so many people, especially older people who are religious, that's why they fear something that we should, like, you should embrace. You know, ultimately, we're all here to die, but not just to die, but to live again. And for you to be so, I mean, you know, I could go on and on, but I kind of cut him off. I gotta say that. That's something that, you know, a lot of people who are already indoctrinated, they don't really have a understanding. And even us, I mean, when we were once part of those communities, you know, based off how we were raised, you know, religious, going to church, stuff like that. I'm not saying that's just a bad thing and, you know, whatever, but it's just a lot of things that we really aren't taught. And, you know, it's not really like incorporated into like our churches and these books and, you know what I'm saying, that people read. And especially over here in America, I feel like that's why so many people have this wrong, spooky, dark perspective when it comes to stuff like this. And this is all Sagittarius, Scorpio shit, like death, occult, behind the scenes, you know. But yeah, go, sorry.
It's no point to fear the inevitable. Like, we all know it's coming. Like, we all know we're gonna, like, each of us as individuals, we all know that we're gonna have to go through that. So it's really no point of fearing it. Like, the best thing you could do is just what they say, YOLO, you know, you living your best life. But rather than it being that, like doing whatever, it's just you making the best out of your life. Like, you know, you making the best out of your time here, out of the moment now, you know. I don't want to just say doing whatever you want to do, but shit, that's kind of how it is. Like, do whatever the fuck you want to do, but just be aware of the consequences that, you know, that comes with whatever it is that you're doing. I remember one of my young partners, like, he came to me one day and he asked me a serious question. Like he ain't never asked me no shit like this, but he was just like, OG. He was like, Moni. He was like, OG, where you think we go after we die? He's like, where you think you go after death? And like, I don't know, I kind of felt honored, I would say, because like this was kind of one of my first times, like, having a motherfucker that's younger than me, like, come to me, like, as if they look up to me type shit. And like, he was asking a genuine question. Like, this dude, he wasn't, like I said before, he wasn't that type of person to even be interested in shit like that. Like, he more so a street nigga. Like, I'm just gonna say it right now, he more so a street nigga, and he really be on that. Like, this nigga, like, you feel me? He'll really do that to you. But the space that he was in when he was asking me that specific question, bro, I knew it was something in him that was like that genuinely wanted to know. And like, you know, I just told him, I'm like, bro, I honestly feel like, you know, wherever you going after, that's dependent on what you doing now. Like whatever you doing now, that's what you gonna do. Like, even after this life, you're probably not gonna be doing it the same exact way, but you're gonna be doing the same thing, just probably in a different way. So you know you doing good down here. You feel me? You staying true to your word. You doing everything you want to do. You really don't got nothing to worry about. Like, your death really. Honestly, I feel like your death gonna be peaceful. But if you out here just fucking motherfuckers up, like fucking people over, doing all that, like, yeah, you should fear death. I'm not gonna lie, you probably should fear death, but there's nothing wrong with that, you know. You still here now, like I said earlier. You still got this time now to start making them changes to, you feel me, eventually make your afterlife better, make your death better, type shit.
Drops mic. No, but yeah, exactly. Everything he said. Damn, I keep losing my point. I was about to say, it was something you said, I was about to respond. But I don't know. Just I mean, and even that's like even in that sense, I feel like too, like, because even with Scorpio, like, or like eighth house things, you know, that also rules like the taboo and shit that's like unspoken, like, shh, you know, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. And I feel like that's like he said, like with his friend, you know, and a younger person coming up to him and asking him, you know, questions pertaining to death and afterlife, aka Scorpio, eighth house, taboo shit. These are things that people, I ain't gonna say people, because like I said, it really more so is over here in America. You know, where it's more so like taboo to talk about certain things. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like even with that example that he used, you know, that's a representation for a lot of people, you know. I ain't gonna say just America though, but it is more so over here. But, you know, that's kind of represents a lot of people, older, younger, you know, but the younger generation, I feel like they are asking more questions, but I just feel like a lot of people are scared, you know, to really, again, Scorpio, 8th house shit, like the unknown and what we, you know, what you fear and your hidden fears, you know, because it's kind of, you know, a lot of humans, you know, I think it's more so we're trained to like fear what it is that we can't see or we don't know. And I don't know, like I just think that, you know, as far as the times that we're going, like we're coming into, you know, we're seeing more people who are starting to ask questions and who are starting to, like, this is things that people want to know, you know what I'm saying? These are things that, I mean, even us as kids, well, me, I could say, you know, as a kid, these was questions I used to ask, you know, this is stuff I used to even ask myself. But being at a, you know, Christian church and stuff like that, they didn't really have the answers, you know. No shade, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like,
they not just the answers we was looking for.
Right. Shit. They didn't have, you ain't had the answers, Sway. You ain't had the answers. And I was looking for answers because I'm like, well, this don't make sense. So I don't know. As you get older, I just feel like not everybody, but as far as this new generation coming up, but even, you know, some older people too. Like, I just feel like more people are starting to ask questions and they want to know more about the unknown and what's after this and what's next and where are we going. And like, I think it's just more people are, especially Sagittarius season. I think it's a time to kind of like break outside of, because Scorpio can also be like fixated on like one, like very narrow into like one belief or one, like, I don't know, like one way of doing something or whatever. But I feel like with Sagittarius, especially being mutable, like fire, this is when shit gets wild. I mean, shit was wild Scorpio season, but shit get wild. You know what I'm saying? It's, Sagittarius season, but even down to your dreams and your beliefs and your dreams and your beliefs and I don't know, like even just down to like thinking processes and
wisdom, knowledge.
Yeah, that's our Sag. Wisdom, higher knowledge, philosophy.
Like the
all that.
The shit after Scorpio, I want to say like your realizations from Scorpio season, like that's that's kind of what Sag is gonna bring, I'll say.
Right. The aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I guess I was gonna say too, like, you know, from that transition from Scorpio to Sagittarius, you know, it's kind of like you gotta die in order to live again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gotta be able to face death. In order to live and understand and embrace life. Like, I mean, oh my God, even on the song Moment for Life, fuck. I like that shit just came on my mind. This the Sagittarius and the Scorpio. Drake and Nicki Minaj. And bro, oh my God, that's crazy. That shit came on. Hey, I swear to God, like
who had the first verse on that song?
Oh shit. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it was Nicki though.
I was about to say.
I think it was Nicki. Yeah. But even in that sense, I was gonna say, because Drake had said something in that song on his verse when he was talking about what he said. He said everybody died. He's a Scorpio, right? He said everybody dies, but not everybody lives.
Mm-hmm.
You understand that? Like, I understood what he said, and that song came out, I think, when I was like in 6th grade, 7th grade. But when I heard that verse, I understood like what he meant by that.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Nicki's verse, she more was so speaking of life and her dreams and inspirations. And I think even in the music video, she was like a goddamn fairy godmother or some shit. Like, and you know, a fairy godmother, they literally grant your your wishes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think they were like, she was showing like the stars. She was talking about the star, like all that stuff. So it's just, I don't know, that example just came to my mind, but that's literally the representation of Scorpio and Sagittarius. But excuse me. But yeah, like, and just going back to what he said at the end, like, what are you saying? As far as like Sagittarius, like being the aftermath of Scorpio, you know, and pretty much like after you don't learned or can't like went through that dark night of the soul, Scorpio, and you know, you faced the dark.
The fire here to light that shit up.
Right.
Dry all that water up. See, that's what I kind of like about how the cycles go. Like, cause after water, it come fire. Like to dry all that shit up.
But it's like the water cycle.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Why I like kind of how the cycles go, cause you know we just now leaving water. You know, Scorpio, so all the fire gonna burn all that shit up, dry all that water up. You know, and after fire, what you got? Earth, cause the fire done shit brought everything down back to earth. Shit, you know, we got all the ashes laying down.
Literally,
you know,
though.
see all the destruction. So now we need the air to we blow all that shit away, clean all that shit up. You feel me? Once the air done, now the water could come back in and nurture the earth. You know.
Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go do it all over again with Aries. So, yeah.
Astrology is in everything.
Man, it's just, and this is what I tell people, you know, even like people I'm cool with and other people, like, it's really not, I mean, it is a lot to learn, like, it is, but it becomes easier, like, once you just start to get it and get certain things, because you see how it correlates to shit you already know. and shit you already been doing and shit you already are aware of. Like that's just the only thing. And I mean, I try to have patience because I'm like, are you stupid? Like, why don't you get that? It's something simple, you know, or you just have to like teach yourself so you can understand what's but a lot of people, you know, I guess I learned at a good time, and me and him, we kind of had our awakening and our beginning experience at a good time when it wasn't too much information just everywhere and chaotic. So I can't understand why it can be confusing for people who are just starting to, you know, like get into it and learn, because it's everybody, like, and now we got TikTok, like all this stuff wasn't going on, you know, when we was getting into this, you know. I mean, it was still information and people out there, of course, but it wasn't like how it is now. Like, it's hitting you left to right.
All these motherfuckers dying, all these celebrities, rap dog, you feel me? It's too much shit going on. I gotta tell myself, like, man, that shit ain't got nothing to do with you. Like, that shit ain't, you know? You just gotta focus on family, you know, dreams, goals, that's it. Everything else, just be outside noise, that shit.
Yeah,
It do be entertaining, though.
I agree. But a part of me does disagree, because I do not think that, I think that there are certain things and agendas and events that take place that is to honestly keep us trapped, you know, in bondage. Scorpio, and we've been going through Scorpio South Node as well, so yeah, you know, you can't be dumb out here. You can't be naive and foolish and get sucked up into everything. Yeah, I agree with that, especially the celebrity shit and all that stuff. But also too, a part of me, and that's why I say a part of me disagrees, because I have slightly different energies than him. Scorpio, I think I blame it more so on my Scorpio and Virgo placements, but I like to get to the bottom of things, and it's almost like detective like detective energy. And so when certain things do happen, like, and certain things take place, I do like try to, like, how I learn from it is a little different than like how he may, like, you know what I'm saying, learn from it, or anybody else, and that's okay. But like someone else, like, who may have similar energies to me, they can relate. But me personally, like, when I see certain events happen, like, I'll be like, damn, let me, you know, I don't know. It's just, it's like an internal sense sometimes. Like, sometimes I just can know. It's like I just know. I just feel like it's something deeper to the situation than what is just being showed or represented in the media, you know. And I'll be trying to like get to the bottom of it, and you know what I'm saying, figure out certain things, but not just for entertainment, you know, even though it can come across like that, because I do have a lot of Leo energy, so I enjoy entertainment, don't get me wrong, but with more serious matters like people dying, people's lives getting took from them, or just, I don't know, even other stuff, I do kind of try to learn from that, and more so on an astrological sense and spiritual sense, and see how all of that like correlates to what is going on right now in my personal life, or even just with other people, you know, and how that, like, how I can help other people. I feel like, I don't even know if that makes sense, but hopefully it does. But I just wanted to kind of give my perspective too on that, you know, because that's where me and him can be a little different, you know. but I do, you know, I would tell y'all the same thing and the same advice, like for sure, not to get too caught up and especially emotionally involved, you know, especially
don't
like
go to no
water
protest.
signs.
Take your ass to no protest.
Oh my god.
What she just said, that's cool. Like, yeah, you could do your research and.
But y'all ain't got
actually,
my mind, so
yeah,
I don't, you know.
you could go ahead and peep the game, you know, and see all the background shit that's going on, but don't actually jump in the goddamn pool. Like, don't be, you feel me? Don't be going to no damn protest.
Don't be a murderer and shit.
Exactly. And they've showed y'all time and time again the shit that be happening at protests, and it just be a whole bunch of bullshit. You probably can name about 5 things on, you feel me, that's better that you could do rather than going to a damn protest.
Hell no. I feel like there's other ways you can protest besides protesting. If that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
Excuse me. It's like, it's just like if you in a certain situation, you know, let's say like, I don't know, just for example, like let's say you still in school, right? Whether you, like high school or something. And, you know, let's say you always dealing with bullshit, or you always dealing with a certain person or a certain group of people and what they call it, your different classes. Like your third class, your third period, yeah.
Period, yeah.
Like, for example, you know, third period, 3 deals with connections and community. But yeah, like let's say you in third period or whatever in class and you always dealing with some BS from a certain person, right? A certain group of people. And you're always trying to, but how you may handle or respond to that person is always in the same way. Or even if it's not the same person, like let's say it's different people, right? Like you always getting in fights. You always in detention. You always, you know, whatever. Because you keep handling the same situations in the same way. So you know, you may think that you have to, this is leading to what we were saying, just like you may think, right, you may have to fight everybody. Okay, every time somebody say something about you, oh, you gotta fight. Every time somebody step on your Jordans, oh, you gotta fight. Every time you think somebody says something about you, oh, you gotta fight, right? But the result of that, right, is it don't really do nothing for you. It don't get you nowhere. Now, obviously, you're fighting for a cause that you think is necessary, worth fighting for. Like, hey, this person disrespected me. I gotta fight. I gotta stand up for myself. I got this, and that. But in the way you're doing it, it's not progressive. In the way you're doing it, it's not benefiting you. It's not really bringing any type of change, right? So that's pretty much going back to, and me peddling off of what he just said with the whole protesting shit and being a martyr and stuff like that. Because I think like Sag and Aquarius, I mean, I feel like that does, and probably Pisces too, I feel like that does bring out, because we see that shit now, goddamn Kanye, other people. Like, I think that does bring those energies out though, like as far as people wanting to protest or fight for something or be a martyr.
Mutable energy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But and then Aquarius is for the people and humanitarian and fighting for a cause and change and extreme, you know, extreme beliefs and shit like that. So it's nothing wrong with like standing up for yourself, you know, having something, you know, that you believe in and stuff like that. But it's more so about how you go about it. And like I said, with being progressive and actually benefiting you, right? Like, you know, or benefiting others, you know, is it actually, is that what's actually happening? Is that you know, are you actually changing things? Is shit actually improving, or are you just in kind of like what he was saying earlier, like stuck in a pattern? You know, and ultimately a lot of these events and these things that they do place in front of us for us to see and react to, it be a trap. It don't, you know, it don't be to help us. You know, they don't want you to go protest and martyr and shoot up people, all this other stuff, you know, to actually bring change and progression into the world. No, they want to use that and use you for an example. I mean, I think too, that's probably why, even just example in tarot, the Pisces card, Hangman, you know, that represents martyr, being a martyr. And whoever that person was in that event that they, you know, whatever they put, you know, or trapped, whatever you want to call it, into that card, you know, whatever person or people that represented, those people ultimately suffered, you know, for fighting for a cause. But I just think the veil is very thin, because I'm, especially Aries moon, I'm very like go, like burn this shit down. I want change, I want action and stuff like that. I like, you know, I'm all for a revolution, but it's about what, you know, like for what. And I think that's just what everyone should be asking, you know, for what? You know, if you're doing it based off of, like he said, oh, you think you got to go out and protest the vote, or, oh my God, please don't bring up that shit about how people die for, I ain't even gonna go into that, but just, you know, certain things like they tell us, they teach us, they show us, and based off of that, you feel like, okay, I have to go against that, or I have to fight for that.
Playing a narrative.
Then that's when you playing the narrative.
Rather than making your own story, making your own script.
And I'm glad you said that, because that's literally Sagittarius, the storyteller. Don't let them write your story for you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them create the narrative. Sagittarius, the narrator. Don't let them create the narrative for you. You create your own and you write your own story.
Damn, it was something I was about to say. Fuck.
Oh, my bad.
Nah, it was something that you said, but it was something else that you said when I just was like playing into the narrative. But when I said that, that shit threw me off from the other point that you made.
I had a brain for it like 5 times in this video.
Damn, I'm trying to go back.
I'll edit this part.
Damn.
Well, just say something else then.
Hold on, I'm coming back. What's the last thing you said? Oh yeah, playing.
Don't play into their narrative. Write your own story.
Damn, you said something good though. That's why I'm taking a minute, because I was waiting on it to come back.
Well, if I say something, is that going to distract you? Okay. And I also, what?
I was gonna say, you might remind me.
Oh, and I also wanted to say this too, as far as like what I said about, you know, don't play into that narrative or let them write your story, because it's kind of going back into what Zay said earlier about like celebrities and all this stuff that's going on, because a lot of them, like, a lot of them probably don't even know it, but you know, the shit that they go through a lot of times, especially if they die, rest in peace, you know, or just other things, is literally they're playing out a tarot card. Are they playing out like literally a narrative or a story that, you know, outsiders, right, have wrote and created for them.
Pawns, literal pawns.
It's like chess. I mean, you know, y'all see where we're going with this? The chessboard. You got your pieces. You know, certain things. Okay. You know, even just because I'm thinking of certain people. I'm not gonna say their name though. Like celebrities. Like, even just pay attention to people, right? That celebrities like that call themselves like queen, right? Or king or shit like that, you know? And just pay attention to everything that's going on. Pay attention to even their fans, that like certain events, like everything, right? They're fighting to be that queen. They're fighting to be that king of this, this, right? But they don't even understand how a lot of the events that be like, you know, are taking place are literally like it's a story. It's a story that's being told, but was not written by the person that's playing it. You know, they're just, like he said, a pawn, or what other people call a puppet. But that's just an example, y'all.
Shit, we all celebrities. That's how we all should be looking at ourselves, as if, shit, we the celebrities. Especially in your own life. You for sure the celebrity of your own life. You should be. Shit. But I get it, you know. I know there's certain celebs out there that we all individually, you know, probably resonate with. You know, there's probably certain celebrities that you resonate way more with compared to the other ones. So, you know, you probably look at that certain celebrity as, you feel me, kind of higher up there, but never forget that motherfucker a person just like you.
Ultimately. I don't want to say anything else.
Shit, nah, I just want to say, I get it, man, because, yeah, I got some celebrities I fuck with, some rappers I fuck with. I know she get tired of me playing, but I resonate with them niggas. Like, if you feel me, be cool. Like, so I be understanding where people coming from, but it's just be like, damn.
I mean, it's even in my I said that a few months back in my Let Me Explain video I did, but I had brought up Young Boy, you know, NBA Young Boy. Shout out to
Pisces
him though.
Moon. Shout out to him.
Libra, Pisces
Moon gang.
But I had even mentioned then, like, I was like, at one point in time, I used to listen to him pretty often, and stuff, and even like people that was around me and stuff, like when I went to college and shit, like that's pretty much all you know, like not all I resonated with, but that's all a lot of people would listen to, and I would even play a lot. But it's because, like Jay said, I mean, I understood him. I understood the space he was in, even though I didn't necessarily go through everything he went through, or, you know, was from where he was from, or lived, you know, exactly how he lived. But as far as that feeling of pain that he, you know, held on to and put into his music, you know, that's where not only me, but a lot of other people like resonate with him. That's why. Even, and that's not a takeaway from anything, but I feel like too, that's why a lot of people, especially younger people, if you notice, really do resonate with him, really do like love, like attach themselves to him, because it's kind of like trauma bonding. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not like I said, I'm not taking anything away from him, you know. Sure, he inspires people in his own right, but I mean, really just look at it, you know, like a lot of the shit he has rapped about, or he's put in his music, and even just a lot of the people who listen to him, you know, and like, it's because, and even me myself, like I was going through a hard time, like when I was listening to him a lot, like I really wasn't happy internally. I was going through a lot. So, you know, that's kind of, you know, that's where most people kind of go towards, like with artists that they resonate with. But it doesn't, like they were saying too, especially when you, do wake up, as I say, and you start to see shit for what it is, and you start to learn more about all this stuff and astrology and this and that. You can listen to anything, you know, because I mean, we listen to anything, really, everybody, you know, but it's
I be slapping that drill.
You start to see things and hear things in a different way than maybe you did before, or maybe the person next to you might see it or hear it because of your awareness now. You know, you have an understanding of where, like he said, that space, you know what I'm saying, the space that person is in. So now when you're listening to it and you're tuning in, you can still tune certain things out, but still be able to feel them ultimately, you know, or understand them, and without getting so sucked into their world. Feel me? Like, and that is why that is the significance of talking about the things that we talk about and the things I talk about. It, you know, even though I have been doing more so tarot videos and stuff, but you know, all of this stuff, I mean, really, it all correlates, and you can learn from it. It's not what you do, but it's how you do it.
Think of all the times where a motherfucker done met a celebrity, or, you know, probably met their favorite rapper or something, and was like, oh, they nothing like what I expected, you know, they're so arrogant, you know, they're an asshole. Like, damn, like, you probably ain't think maybe that motherfucker having a bad day that day. Like, damn, like, and that shit be so fucked up, because these motherfuckers, they'll go through that experience, and they'll dead the whole celeb. Like, oh, no, I don't fuck with them no more. I don't listen to them no more. But just a couple hours ago, this motherfucker was a diehard fan. Like, you feel me? They probably had stan accounts and all that. Like, that should be crazy. Like,
and nowadays, people's opinion ain't even their own. You know, it's based off what everybody's saying on Twitter, or everybody retweeting on posting on Instagram. Like, or what the Shade Room said. Like, that's more so, or even down to your favorite YouTuber, like, these are the people who is controlling the narratives. Like, let's keep it real. It's a lot of people don't really have their own mind or their own opinions, you know. I mean, they may start off, but then once they listen to this person, that person, you know, watch this person on YouTube, then that's what pretty much controls their perspective towards a certain person, whether they're a celebrity or not. I just feel like, I mean, you can learn from anybody, but ultimately, like, have your own mind at the end of the day. You don't need to have something or someone else think for you. It don't matter how smart, intelligent, wise, rich, beautiful, whatever you think that person may be, because they, you know, they are human just like you ultimately, and where they went or what they did in order to obtain that wisdom, you can do it too, or do it in a different way. This is why we have celebrities and all this bullshit now, because the people, like, y'all put people on pedestals, y'all do this, like, y'all worship people. Y'all do it.
Kill this.
As soon as you think somebody is smarter than you, you think you have to worship them. As soon as you think someone is better than you, as like anything, you know, it's like, I don't know why humans do that. Like, you feel like that person is higher than you. No, the fuck they're not.
Group think shit. They had that shit. But you see group think going on, not even, it's like everywhere, in every space. You see it at your job, you see it shit at school, like everywhere. You see it everywhere. Like, but
church.
It take real real power and discipline to really stand on your own. Like, when you see everybody going that way, it take a whole lot of discipline for you to tell yourself, all right, I'm gonna go this way.
That way.
I don't know what the fuck over here yet, but shit, we gonna find out.
That's the thing too. I think it's just scary, like, for a lot of people. I mean, even some of the hardest, you know, people out here, like the toughest nigga on the block, I mean, whatever, you know, or the baddest bitch, like, even for them, you know what I'm saying? I think it just internally for a lot of people, it can be scary going their own way. Like, and I'm talking about, man, it's deeper. I'm talking about deeper than just, oh, everybody told you to be a nurse, you decided to be a beautician. Like, no, deeper than that. I'm talking about just, again, what we were saying, just when it comes to having your own mind. Like, not, shout out to Dolo too, because I had to give him credit for this, because I remember too, he even mentioned one time about, giving your intellectual property away or something like that, or hold on, what he said? Something about okay, it's something you believe in, right? Or you have your own, you have your mind made up, on something, right? But then somebody come in and they can pretty much change that. And don't get me wrong, because even me, being, I'm ruled by a mutable sign. So in a lot of ways, I can pretty much adapt and kind of change to what others around me may be into, or may whatever be talking about and stuff. But, and there's nothing wrong with learning from other people. It's nothing wrong with sharing ideas. It's nothing wrong, especially if you was wrong, or if maybe you weren't seeing something right, or, certain things okay, maybe someone can help you tweak, or do something better with this or that. That's fine. But to never know, what the fuck you actually stand on, or to never, to really, how am I trying to say this? To always have an unstable, just being unstable when it comes to making a choice or a decision, just about your own morals, or what you choose to stand on, what you choose to believe on. And it's so easy for somebody to come and tell you, no, don't believe in that. You need to believe in this, no, you don't need to do that. You don't need to blah, 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 blah. You need to do it this way, because this is the right way. This is the normal way, or this is the way of Christ, the Lord, Jesus, Savior, God, shabalaba. That's when it's a problem, because now this ain't your mind. Now you basically following someone else's.
Motherfucker, we in America. What happened to the freedom? I can't do
even Christians say you have what do they say, free will. But do you? Because it's kind of ooh, see, and I love that we talk about this. That's another thing of Sagittarius, hypocrisy. Did I say it right? Hypocrisy.
You talking about hypocrites? Yeah, hypocrisy.
how can you believe that you have free will, but in the same breath think that every decision, every choice you make is based off of someone outside of you?
I don't know what that is.
I had to freeze for a second because I didn't get it. I don't get that. But, you know.
Lord knows.
Lord stuff knows, like that.
Lord knows.
Stuff like, I mean, it's just, y'all, long story short, it's a lot of people was raised to not ask questions, right? Even if you wasn't raised that religious, like, you know, even just a lot of our parents and stuff, right? As soon as you ask a question, you get popped in the mouth, right? Or you get sent to your room. Boy, I told you stop asking questions, goddammit. You know? Like, you know how your mamas could be. And hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm not shaming them. I'm not blaming them. You know, hey, they just repeated what was once done to them. I get it. But I just want to reaffirm everybody and reassure not just y'all, but even myself, okay? Like, it's okay to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a world where we've been lied to, unfortunately, okay? Not about everything, but a lot of things. And again, like we were saying before, stories and narratives have been changed and rewritten, etc., etc. So you ain't the only one who may be asking the questions you may be asking in your mind. You ain't the only one who, you know, who may be thinking that way.
For sure.
But a lot of people are afraid. Because like you were saying with the, oh, well, instead of going this way, go that way. A lot of people are afraid, I think, of that. Because, I mean, yeah, everybody says, I'm my own person, I'm an individual, but when it really comes, when push comes to shove, I think a lot of people are really scared to, I don't know, like, I don't want to say hated by others, but they don't want to be too indifferent, you know? I think that's what it is. And it's a lot of people who probably think just like, you know what I'm saying, shit we talk about, or they probably into similar things we are into, or they probably, you know, enjoy watching my tarot you know, my tarot stuff, or other people's, or whatever. But they may not ever, like, they may not know how to, like, this may be shit they just keep hidden, right? Or they just keep to themselves. And then when it comes to their family or their friends, everybody else, oh, they just go to work, you know, this, like, they don't even know this other side of this person, if that makes sense what I'm saying. Because that person may be afraid of the reaction and response, you know, they may get from their so-called friends or family. You know, if they was to ask certain questions that they asked Google, you know, or they ask Google, or they ask YouTube, you know, are they things that they're into? I just want to say that, like, just don't be afraid. That's a message from Sag. Like, don't be afraid. I have a Sagittarius father, Sagittarius sister, Sagittarius grandmother. So I understand, you know. And my mother is a Capricorn, so she's more Saturn, and she can be more fear-based, you know, and kind of stems from paranoia. Sorry, Ma, I love you though. But that's the truth. But even with them, I see, like, I see it. Because my sister and my dad would, like, they would challenge her all day, you know, because it's like with her, she thinks, oh, they too free, goddammit. They just, you know, they'll Lord have mercy, like, they don't care about nothing, or they ain't got no sense. But even my dad would tell you, he ain't got no sense. You know, Sagittarius, I love y'all, but y'all don't have no sense. But y'all got wisdom. Y'all ain't too good with practicality, but y'all got wisdom. And I mean, in Sagittarius season, I just think a lot of shit ain't gonna make sense. But that's like that's the magic of it, you know, just like Pisces. Pisces season don't a goddamn thing make sense. Nothing.
Sag Pluto generation right now. Oh, my bad.
Oh no. I was just saying that's the magic of Pisces and Sag. It don't have to make sense until after. Because it's like when you just know something, you just know. But that may not make sense to outsiders, like looking in, you know.
The sun is on our Pluto.
Shout out to Pluto and Sag gang, rebirth, transformation. When it comes to spirituality, religion, belief systems, philosophies, your dreams. Just reach for the stars.
Sag Pluto generation getting older, so a lot of shit is changing.
Yep.
You know, they say we the generation that's gonna fuck shit up. Start the fuck up.
Start the fire. I think it's been set.
Oh yeah, it's been set. It's been set. But we ain't seen nothing yet. That's what I feel.
Yeah, I think more so Pluto and Aquarius generation. I think that's when shit gonna really pop off. Because, again, Aquarius is power to the people. And I feel like that's when people will really start to feel, especially the younger generation, will start to feel empowered. Or they'll feel more what we're talking about as far as thinking for yourself, being a free thinker, independent thinker, you know. You have the capability, knowing and inner knowing that you have the capability to do something your own way or on your own. You don't have to depend on these old traditions, these old systems, you know, these old beliefs and religions and shit. You know what I'm saying? Hell, even voting. Why do y'all still vote? Like, it doesn't make sense. So, again, not making sense. Some things need to make sense, though, goddamn it. Even though I know I just said everything gonna make sense. But some things do need to make sense as far as, like, what we're participating in. What they tell us to participate in, you know? Like, that's what needs to make sense. What doesn't make sense is, you know, us freely choosing to give our powers away every 4 years to the same motherfuckers who still ain't did shit. But y'all talking about, oh, y'all need a vote. Y'all need a vote because our people died for this.
I don't need to do shit.
Y'all need to vote for change.
No narratives. I'm not no extra. She not an extra.
Hell no.
We're not extras. We're
and a goddamn thing to nobody movie. If anything, we gonna be the producers, the filmmakers, the writers, the EPs, the all that. Yeah. And the main characters. Shout out to my Leos. Y'all know what it is. But yeah, nah. We ain't do that. We don't do that. I remember even my mama called me, I think it was like a year ago or 2 years ago, one time, talked about, oh, can we go with her to protest? I said, protest for what? I forgot what I think it actually was for voting though or something, but I'm like, well, why don't people just think like this? Why don't people just think like, okay, well, if we stop giving our power away and we realize the power that we are the power, these people wouldn't have no power if we didn't give it to them. Oh shit, that means we don't need to depend on this person or this set of group in order to make a change, in order to da-da-da-da-da, right? That's what that means. Therefore, you don't have to go protest. You don't have to sit and beg, because that's basically what you're doing. Sit and beg
for a change.
For a change, or for help, or can we please vote?
Shit.
Can we please do this, massa? Fuck no. Why the fuck I'm gonna go march down over there, drive hours to...
Motherfuckers protest for
what?
For one day, and think that's gonna... If I was a higher ups, I'd look at y'all like, I'll be looking at the team like, somebody get these motherfuckers off the street. Like, please get these motherfuckers off the street. What's going on? I mean, we only saw change and protest. I feel like that shit was only effective back in the older days where they was protesting for overextended amount of time. Like, all this other shit is nah.
Protesting for race, for your race to matter. I'm sorry, that don't make sense. At this point, I'm just gonna be like, I have, but I'm gonna leave it there. We're gonna leave it at that.
Say, just make sure y'all staying light, especially after all this Scorpio energy. We got Sag coming in to purify shit. So I say just stay light, be open for new endeavors. New shit. You're supposed to be reborn during this season. It's rebirth after the death, Scorpio. So I just say
transmutation.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, I say the same thing. Like he said, it's embracing the new energy, a lot of new things, a lot of new shit, even down to beliefs, transmuting like what was once dead, Scorpio, and pretty much like creating something new out of that, boiling water, but it rising to a certain density, like Scorpio to Sagittarius and the new moon. Like, I feel like pretty much what I said. I mean, everything that was pretty much what was once dead or needed to be put to rest, and transforming it and changing it, being mutable, a mutable sign, into something new, new passion, new visions, shit like that, like new beliefs, maybe even new goals, new dreams, and things like that, bringing shit to life. I feel like Taurus gets a lot of credit for that. Even though they in conjunct each other, I feel like that's where they honestly are kind of similar, like just like Taurus. I mean, Sagittarius ultimately does bring life. But instead of containing it like Taurus, it moves, Sag moves you, ultimately. So, a lot of us, I feel like it's just that energy of wanting to move. I mean, literally, the half horse, half human. Like, you gonna want to move, or you gonna need to. Yeah, like, even if you don't want to, like, your ass probably is gonna be pushed to move. And yeah, like he said, it might even be down to physically. Like you might travel, you might physically need to move places, or just move your feet, you know, especially like health-wise, you know, maybe you've been real inactive, you know, around your hips and your thighs, okay, because that's also what Sagittarius rules, okay, so you might need to, the Sagittarius is a traveler. He said travel, I forgot. But yeah, Sagittarius is the traveler, so, you know, that too, you know, be open to traveling, you know, or just seeing that, okay. And even just ideas like traveling, you know, communication and shit, like people travel like that may be what's traveling more as far as spreading, you know, and being shared, aka traveling, getting from one place to another, from one person to another.
Mars still in Gemini.
Oh shit, that too. So still a lot of information out there. Like that's another thing too. Like I said in the beginning, I mean, yeah, it could be confusing for a lot of people, and I get it, especially new people who are just now learning this and truth seekers or whatever. I don't even like the labels and shit, but I get it. You know, that's why I don't judge people and stuff. But at the same time, like just be open to it. You know, just of course use discernment. Don't take everything in, you know, but now is a great time to learn. Like it is, even though yeah, it's a lot going on and it can be chaotic, but at the same time, I think now is a great time to learn, because like I said, with me, when I first was getting into it a few years ago, it wasn't this many people who was talking about these things, or it wasn't this much information just out here, even though there is a lot of false information though, so be mindful of that too. You know, what they call false prophets and all this other stuff, like that's also like dark side of Sagittarius, okay, because Sagittarius deals with ultimately religion, religious people, churches, the what's that man name, the Pope, like all stuff like that, you know. And yeah, one of the biggest lies is the devil, and you only find the devil in religion. So hey, there you go, that's it.
Sun on our Pluto. That's why we talking like this, killing weak shit, destroying outdated shit that's not making the world better.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. Gonna make you feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make
see our
it
cat.
right.
He been behind us the whole time.
Do y'all not understand?
I'm bushy.
How you do yawn like that? Wake
Bushy.
up. Y'all say hi to Bootsy.
Yeah, the bushy.
Spoiled. But do y'all not see the correlation? Like, even with Michael Jackson, who is another Pisces moon. Like, and shout out to him. I mean, this man tried to tell y'all why y'all over here sliding around and goddamn moonwalking and shit and bumping and grinding to his music. He actually was putting out a lot of truth out there, and that people wasn't so dumb and just blind. Like, oh my God, this is another reason why I get mad. At the end of the day, people, like, if you're a person, you're a person. If you're a human, you're a human. I don't care what status or whatever that you have, you know. But a lot of people, they'll say, oh, this celebrity is evil, oh, this, that. But people don't talk about the celebrities and the artists who have put out a lot of truths. And, you know, a lot of them couldn't just blatantly come out with stuff. You know, they had to kind of code it and, you know, get it out to you in a different way. And look what happened to those people. you know, I mean, yeah, to a certain extent, they did give some of their their rights away and shit because they signed certain contracts, made certain deals and stuff. But ultimately, like, some of them probably didn't even know what they was going into, and a lot of them was born into the industry, and they were born, you know, are kind of pushed into it at a young age. So they were, you know, pretty much like their parents and people around them forced them to go down that road. But I don't think like everybody is just like evil or bad or, you know what I'm saying, whatever. It's not even about good or bad. It's just about what it is. Like, it's just about the truth. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, we got to stop looking at everything in a religious, spooked out way. Like how he was saying earlier, like people be making stuff spooky and everything ain't that, you know? I mean, yeah, some things, when you do learn, don't get me wrong, about these people, some of these individuals, I ain't talking about celebrities, I'm talking about these people, you know, who run this shit. Like, yeah, there are some dark truths and all that, but it's even in that, I ain't gonna talk about it on this video. That's another video. That's too much. But even in that sense, it's like it's a spiritual, like, it's a spirituality behind that. It's a spiritual purpose behind that. I really want to talk, but I'm not gonna talk about it. But it's just, yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. I just feel like they don't get enough credit for that.
Nigga MJ said, "We are the world."
We are the children.
Nigga, we make this shit up. Like,
and he said he all he want to say is they don't really care about us. But of course, people have to make it into a race thing. Oh yeah, they don't care about black people. They don't care about Anna, Jose, Deontay, Jaquan, anybody, Susie, goddamn Miranda, whoever you is, Shakalaka Zulu, wherever you from, it don't matter. They don't care. That is what that is what MJ was saying. That is what he was trying to tell us. Not Black Lives Matter. That's not what he was saying. Not that they don't. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what we mean by deeper truths. That's what we mean by shit. You know what I'm saying? Taboo stuff that people scared to talk about because they don't really want to. I mean, shit, you see what happened to a lot of people when they do talk about stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, this video is pretty long, you know, so I think we said a lot. And just the new moon in Sagittarius, you know, just believe in yourself. That's pretty much the advice I would give to everyone, you know, to just continue to believe in yourself, believe in your dreams. Also too, this season, don't get too gun-ho on trying to control shit, because this is not the time to try to take control, you know, try to take control over everything. Mm-hmm. You know, especially mutable season, you know, you need to learn how to go with the flow. And again, like, don't let anyone, not even just the higher ups, but even just people, you know, whether at work, in your everyday life, your teachers, anybody. Don't let anyone write your story for you. Don't let anyone create a narrative for you. You write your own story and you play the character that you choose to play. Period. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so we're gonna end it there. All right, thank you guys for watching and tuning in. If you resonate with this video, of course, go ahead and like that. I appreciate my supporters, and anyone who may be new, who may come across this video on my channel. But yeah, so I love you guys. Have a good Sagittarius season and a new moon. Again, reach for the stars and never stop believing in yourself and your dreams, no matter how crazy they may sound to other people. Sagittarius.